Anything that has a hard surface is fine to buy without being organic. Soft skin absorbs the pesticides, just like our bodies absorb what we put on them.
Welcome to the Rebel Health Coach Podcast with Tom Underwood. Armed with truth and knowledge, your journey to a healthy lifestyle can be obtained. Preventative wellness, quality nourishment, and daily fitness routines dramatically improve your outlook on life as a whole. And you'll find the support and info you need to accomplish a healthier lifestyle here. Together, we can empower each other along our journey to an amazing you.
Hello, welcome to the Rebel Health Coach Podcast. In today's episode, you have me as the guest, and it's part 2 of the 3-part series, An Optimal Health Model: Maximize, Minimize, and Prioritize. In episode 35, which was part 1, we discussed things we need to maximize for our bodies to live a healthy life. In this episode, I will be discussing part 2, which is minimize, things we need to minimize and take out of our lives that's harmful to live a healthy lifestyle. What do we need to minimize for our bodies to feel optimal and function on all cylinders? We need to minimize things that can be harmful or degrading or disabling in some way for the body. What do you think this list may include? Think about it for a minute. Toxins, allergens, infections, stress, trauma, limiting beliefs, fear, negative expectations. Yeah, that whole list. These are things we need to minimize in our lives to live a healthy life. Let's take a look at toxins first. Each day, we are surrounded by poisonous substances, which affect our minds and bodies. That's crazy. We live in a crazy world of toxins. These poisonous substances are called toxins, and your health is affected much more than you may realize, depending upon how much exposure you have to toxins on a regular basis. First of all, it's important to recognize that toxins can be found externally outside of our bodies, and also they can be found internally, which is inside our bodies. Examples of external toxins are pollutants, secondhand cigarette smoke, pesticides. Yes, the great Monsanto strikes. Internal toxins, on the other hand, include bad bacteria and yeast, which create dangerous toxins right inside of our bodies. A low-grade chronic viral infection and chronic stress, anxiety, or negative thinking all add to the total burden of toxins. Yes, your thoughts are a source of toxicity. And I know you'll know that because it's just not healthy to be negative and think bad thoughts. So what are the major sources of toxins, and what can you do to reduce your exposure to feel your best? Here are the top 5 sources of toxins, along with recommendations to reduce your exposure. Let's talk about number 1 first, food. Your food has more toxins than you may think. The biggest culprit for toxic exposure is processed foods, which are full of chemicals and additives that can create symptoms ranging from cravings and weight gain to poor digestive health and food allergies. And food allergies is a big one because food allergies can make you gain weight and stop you from losing weight. But it's not just packaged food to avoid. Conventional produce is also full of pesticides. In fact, over 1 billion pounds of pesticides are used on food in the U.S. alone. These pesticides have been linked to symptoms ranging from muscle cramps and heart rate changes to irritability and emotional instability. Hard to believe, but it's true. To reduce your exposure to food toxins, choose whole foods instead of processed food. I know that's difficult for some people on a tight budget, but there are some tricks. Like if you can't afford organic fruits, buy frozen. Stay away from canned foods with cans with BPA, or get canned foods with BPA free on them because BPA is a toxin. Choose organic fruits and vegetables whenever possible. Organic produce is grown without harmful pesticides, and even better, the soil is more mineral rich. which means we get more vitamins and minerals from them than soil that is tainted. Eating organic whole foods is a great step you can take towards health and wellness. If you go to ewg.org, there you will find the list you need for the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. The Dirty Dozen are the top list of things that you should buy organically. And the Clean 15 are the things you can buy without worrying about the pesticides. Basically, a rule of thumb for the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. If the skin is soft, such as a tomato, chances are it's going to be full of pesticides unless you buy it organically. An apple is another example. As far as the Clean 15, let's think about avocados with a hard shell or cantaloupe with a hard shell. Anything that has a hard surface is fine to buy without being organic. The soft skin absorbs the pesticide, just like our bodies absorb what we put on them. Next, let's talk about water. Number 2 is water. Do you know the source of your water? These days, knowing where your water comes from is of utmost importance. Your body is between 70 to 90% water, and the water you drink is critical to hydrating your body at a cellular level. Tap water is full of toxins. The Environmental Working Group, EWG, which I talk about them a lot in this episode, found over 140 contaminants in our tap water. In addition, over the past few years, studies have shown that pharmaceuticals like prescription and over-the-counter drugs are being found in tap water. Imagine that. Some of the most common drugs found in our tap water: antibiotics, antidepressants, birth control pills, seizure medication, cancer treatments, painkillers, tranquilizers, and cholesterol-lowering compounds. And that leaves us with bottled waters, which have been shown to be just as bad as tap water in most cases, not to mention the toxins that leach from the plastic bottles themselves. So what do we do? That's a tough question. To reduce your exposure to water toxins, if you have only tap water in your home, you might consider getting a whole house water filter or an Aquasana sink and shower filter to reduce your exposure to major toxins. Yes, a shower filter. Think about it. The water coming through your shower head has all the same chemicals as the water coming through the tap that you want to drink out of. But we're not drinking our shower water. Coming out of the shower head is being absorbed into our bodies, just like whatever we slap on our bodies is being absorbed through our skin. So the water from the shower head is being absorbed into our bodies. So get a shower filter. Replace the filter every 6 months. Save yourself some time, save yourself some effort, and be healthy. Next, and this is a big one, environment. Whether inside your home or outside your home, the environment is also a major source of toxins. Pollution from manufacturing, cars, secondhand smoke can be challenging to avoid. However, you can avoid a lot of toxins inside and around your home. Too many people use harsh household cleaners containing bleach, ammonia, and other toxic chemicals that can cause health problems ranging from nausea to skin destruction, fluid in the lungs, and wheezing. So how do we reduce that? Well, to reduce your exposure to environmental toxins, some people choose to live in rural locations for the clean air and land. I know not everybody's going to pack up and move. So you can choose non-smoking section at a restaurant and public places. At home, you can switch your cleaning products to those with all natural ingredients. And one of them, like 7th Generation, has cleaning, laundry, and dishwasher supplies. Also, you can go to the EWG website once again and check your cleaning supplies and see what they recommend. You can also choose green or chemically free products like fabrics for your furniture, which often have flame retardant chemicals on them, or paint that does not have VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Yeah, they've got a name for those too. Next, and this one's a long list. Number 4, beauty and personal care products. The products we use to look our best may be the biggest source of aging and other adverse symptoms. Beauty products like toothpaste, lotion, youth creams, shampoo, soap, conditioner, perfumes, and makeup are full of toxic chemicals. Beauty and personal care products from the health food store can also be filled with ingredients that cause harmful symptoms. To reduce your exposure to toxins in beauty and personal care products, read ingredient labels on your personal care products. Anything you put on your skin is absorbed into your body. Some of the ingredients to avoid in your beauty and personal care products are sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosan, which is found in those great hand sanitizers everybody puts on their hands when they touch things, parabens, mineral oil, petroleum, diethanolamine, cocamide, lauramide, alpha and beta hydroxy acids, talc, lanolin, and phthalates, and BPAs. Educate yourself, do your research before you buy. Think of something you absolutely love and the time and energy you apply to it. Use the same time and energy when it comes to your health. You have one life to live in one body. If you don't take care of yourself, you may pay for it later in sickness. Be sure to check out the EWG's Skin Deep database to research toxic chemicals that could be in your cosmetics and personal care products. To sign up for my monthly newsletter, text RHCP, that's Rebel Health Coach Podcast, or Red Hot Chili Peppers, to 22828. Again, that's RHCP to 22828. Thank you and have an awesome day. Next up, number 5, stress and negative thinking. If you go back to episode 40 with Dr. Lisa Templeton on letting it be, this will help you tremendously. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, estimates up to 90% of all illness and disease is due to stress. Stress can kill the good bacteria and yeast that live in your intestines and keep your immunity and digestive health strong. Yes, stress is a killer. And stress is tough because we all live in a stressed society. As the good bacteria and the yeast die off, the bad bacteria and the bad yeast are able to take over. That's not a good thing. Our behaviors can also put a tremendous amount of stress, say, on the liver. If we consume very large amounts of alcohol to deal with the stress, and we smoke on a regular basis, or high amounts of sugar or other refined carbohydrates. Think about it. The liver is working overtime every day to deal with toxins from the outside, from what comes through our skin to what goes through our pie hole. So the liver's got a busy job. We don't want to put any more punches to the liver, like a liver punch in MMA. We don't want that. So try and cut those things out because stress is killing us. Now, to reduce exposure to toxins from stress and negative thinking, because we believe in creating strong health and well-being, both physically and emotionally, we dedicate several articles at the end of this to creating your best emotional health. To reduce your exposure to toxins from stress and negative thinking, what can we do? What about meditation? What about putting the phone down? What about taking a break, reading a book? What about belly breathing? What about yoga? What about going for a walk by the river? Or if you don't live by the river, go for a walk by the mountains. If you don't live by mountains, go for a walk. It's not hard, but we need to take care of it. That about covers toxins and stress. Let me finish up this episode by covering the final few things we need to minimize for optimal health. Okay, I want to talk about infections a little bit. The invasion and multiplication of microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites that are not normally present within the body. An infection may cause no symptoms and be subclinical. or it may cause symptoms and be clinically apparent. An infection may remain localized, or it may spread through the blood or lymphatic vessels to become systemic, body-wide. Microorganisms that live naturally in our body are not considered infections. For example, bacteria that normally live within the mouth and intestines are not infections. So how do we minimize infections? Keep your gut healthy. Do not overuse antibiotics. Antibiotics wreak havoc on the gut. So don't be so quick to ask for antibiotics to fight a viral infection like the common cold. Also, if your doctor prescribes one, ask if you really need it. What is the shortest treatment course? And whether there are alternative methods. Another tip, eat more fermented foods. The bacteria in our gut are living organisms. They need to eat, so feed them. Feed them healthy things like kombucha. How about some sauerkraut, some miso, some pickles, some kefir, or how about kimchi, which is an outstanding source. Or if push comes to shove, put some probiotic supplements in there. If you don't know what to get, reach out to me. I'll tell you which ones will work best. Let's talk about allergens. An easy way to understand allergens is basically something that the body should be tolerating as a normal part of our environment. That's choosing not to tolerate it. We tend to think about things like food or plants, things in the environment that the immune system should be tolerating, but they're not. Because in fact, those things are not dangerous, but the immune system has decided that these substances are foreign invaders and therefore respond accordingly. How can we combat these allergens and keep our bodies healthy? Well, nettles is a good one to use. Local bee pollen, quercetin plus nettles. Now I'm going to move on to trauma. Trauma is something that we really can't avoid at times because it just happens, like an injury, a blockage, being born without something, any type of accident or injury, or maybe surgery. Sometimes surgery in and of itself is the root cause of a negative cascade afterwards. That's a tough one because, you just can't prevent stuff like that from happening. But there's ways you can deal with that, and you just got to persevere and push through those traumas. Now, I'm going to talk before I go about limiting beliefs, fear, and negativity. These need to be removed from our lives. They hold us back. They stop us from moving forward. They keep us from getting a good night's sleep, which in turn keeps us from living a healthy, optimal life. Learn to let it be. Breathe. Meditate. Self-love. Love yourself. And that's a wrap for this episode. I will do Prioritize next, which will be part 3 of this 3-part series. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did writing it and preparing it and talking about it. And I hope you have a great, fantastic day. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me.
Thank you for joining in today with the Rebel Health Coach, Tom Underwood. And be sure to subscribe to the show so you can catch all the episodes. With desire and commitment, you can implement a lifestyle of wellness and fitness. For the support, encouragement, and tools you need to be successful, visit tomunderwood.net.